I know I have a much higher pain tolerance than most people do, except for other occult torture survivors. It's how we had to survive the torture, was to numb out of the body, to numb out of the experience of pain, to dissociate, of course, but to try and be as unaware of the pain as we could. Otherwise, how could we get through? And it was splitting and splitting and splitting with the dissociative identity. But it was also things like how we breathe so high and tight in our chest. I can't do deep breathing. We can't. It sends us into a panic because that makes us more in our body and then we feel more. I have arthritis all down my back and spine and in some other places, and I'm sure it's a direct result of the cult torture. But I just found out that I have a compressed fracture in one of my vertebrae. I think other people would have been talking a lot more about pain and being much more aware of it. And for me, there was the initial really sharp pain, and it was something simple. It's because it's osteoarthritis, where I turned in bed, but I had raised myself up and then I thunked down, and then there was this really sharp pain. And I mentioned it to my naturopath, and I did mention to my doctor, that's why I got the x-ray, that I was having a little more pain than normal. But the tough guys, especially in me, numb out as much as possible because that's how we survived. But I think most people would have been complaining a lot more and a lot sooner. And this is one of those instances where it's not as helpful to be numbing out of our body, but at least we did get it checked out and we got an x-ray and we know what's going on and we'll have another appointment. But numbing out is how we coped. And I don't want to feel the pain in my body. It's no fun to feel the pain in my body. But sometimes it's important to, or at least to note it and then talk about it. And I'm glad we did. But I do think that the arthritis I have in my body is a direct result of the torture that happened. How many times I was slammed into concrete or against walls by heavy men or adults, on and on for the trafficking and the sexual assaults. And then arthritis in my shoulders and wrists, how many times I was bound and hung by my wrists and all the weight is on my shoulders, or hung the other way with my ankles. It makes sense to me. And I do think there's research about how ongoing extreme traumatic abuse and torture can impact the body, which is another thing that I feel angry and sad about, that there are still so many effects from the torture, even though we are safe.